Okay, hi ladies. All right, we're gonna go to 5.1 part 2, the nth roots, radicals, rational exponents. All right, we use a radical sign to indicate a root. The number under the radical sign is the radicand. The index gives you the degree of the root. Okay? Let's try to find a pen here that writes. Okay, the other thing, like, as far as roots go, here. Let's say you had a fourth root of x cubed. Sorry, my thing's not writing correctly. All right, so one thing you could do is make this a rational expression. So the root is the denominator, and 3 would be the numerator. So this is x to the 3/4 power. All right, we'll get into that later. All right, next page. I'm trying to go here. All right, we might need a calculator to do these. Simplify each of the following. Okay, so we are looking for, let's highlight the word real. All right, real roots. All right, I'm going to cross off the word cube because there's fourth roots here, and all right, and cube root is the third root. All right, square root of 121. What number squared gives you 121? That would be 11. We're going to work down. Okay, so mentally you're doing this. So normally I don't write this step. Mentally you're doing this. Square root of 1 over square root of 81. And square root of 1 is 1. And square root of 81 is 9. So this is 1/9. Okay? All right. So inside the square root is an expression. It's -2 quantity squared. So that becomes 4. So this whole thing is square root of 4, which is 2. So square root implies the positive root only. So you don't do plus minus. Okay? All right. Cubed root. So let's talk about cubed roots and negative numbers. So a negative cubed is still negative. All right? So you're looking for the cubed root of 64, and the answer is going to be negative. And the cubed root of 64 is 4. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So the answer is -4. All right, here we got the fourth root of -1. So even powers, if you take a square root or fourth root, you're going to get an imaginary number. So this is non-real. All right. For some reason, my board is hard to write with today. All right. The negative is out in front. So the answer is negative. And what number to the 5th power is 32? And I believe it's 2. So the answer is -2. All right, we got one at the bottom here. The cube root of 8 is also 2. It's just 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. All right, moving on. What is each root? So once again, this could be negative, or it has to be negative. A negative cubed is negative. And what number cubed is 27? Is 3. 3 times 3 times 3. All right, once again, fourth root of a negative number. So this is non-real. All right, because we want the real root. So just write non-real. All right, the answer would have an I in it. All right, so we're going to simplify what's inside the square root. Ooh, sorry about the messy handwriting. So that's 49. All right, so the square root of 49 is just 7. All right, square root of negative 49, so that would be 7i. So this is also non-real. All right, we only want the real ones. All right, moving on. I guess that's the answers here. All right, so now we're going to simplify. All right, so much like when you have a square root, you need a square root. You need 2 to get 1 on the outside. Like the square root of x squared. All right, will just be x. All right, because that's 1/2 power. So you can do 1/2 times 2, so it's 1. Or every 2 on the inside give you 1. So here, the fourth root, you need 4 on the inside to give you 1. So you're basically doing 8 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that's x squared on the outside. And there's none left over. And then you're going to do 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that's going to be y cubed. All right, so that's our answer. All right, cubed root. Cubed root of 27 is 3. All right, so you're going to do 9 divided by 3 is 3. So that's x to the third evenly. All right, I don't like the fact all these are coming out even. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we're going to have y to the fourth. All right. I hope these get more difficult. Next page. All right, this is definitely more difficult. So, much like when you did square roots, you need a list of perfect squares. So here, you really need a list of perfect cubes, unless you want to break it up into like a tree. And then you could use every 3. Let's write our list of perfect cubes. 2 cubed would be 8. 3 cubed is 27. 4 cubed 64. All right, you don't need too many of these. 5 cubed is 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 is 125. All right, you probably don't need any more. 6 cubed, I believe, is 216, but all right, so we want to look for which one of these perfect cubes, the largest number goes into 128, and that would be 64. All right, so you're going to kind of rewrite this as this. All right, and then you're going to do 7 divided by 3 goes in twice with 1 left over. All right, so what times 64 is 128 is 2, and then you got 1x left over. All right, and so the cubed root of 64 is 4, and then you got x squared. I forgot the cubed here. All right, so this is the cubed root here still, and that's going to be 2x left here. All right, so that's our answer. That's a good answer. All right, what perfect cube goes into 16? That would be 8. So you're basically doing this. And it goes in 2 times. So you got a 2 left over here. All right, and then you're going to do 4 divided by 3 is 1. So there's 1a. That takes care of 3 of the 4. So there's 1a left over. And then 5 divided by 3 is also 1. But then there's 2 left over. So that's going to be b squared here. All right, so let's simplify this. That's just 2. So it's 2ab cubed root. I'm trying to write neatly here. And inside the cube root is 2ab squared. All right, going well. All right, you can multiply these together inside of a square root. So 6 times 2 is 12, square root of 12. And then you got to simplify square root of 12. Well, 4 goes into it 3 times. All right, so square root of 4 is 2. So it's 2 square root of 3. All right, so here, these are both cubed roots, so we're going to multiply the 3 and the 9 together. So it's 27. So the cubed root of 27 is just 3. So the answer is just 3. All right, moving on. All right, so here we're going to use the distributive property. 4 times 3 is 12. So it's 12 squared root of 3 minus 3 times 3 is 9, and that's square root of 15. I'm trying to think if there's a way to simplify this. Not really. Okay, so 12 squared root of 3 doesn't simplify, and square root of 3 and square root of 15 are not like terms. So I think this is our best answer. I don't think you could do anything with that. All right, let's do this one. 4 times negative 3. All right, let's try again to write. All right, this is going to be negative 12. And then you're going to do square root of 15 times square root of 6. So I'm doing 15 times 6, which is 30, and 60, that's 90. All right, so that's going to simplify. And then I'm going to do 5, so it's plus. All right, 5 times 4 is 20, square root of 15. All right, we could break up the square root of 90. Let's see, bigger number than 9? I don't think so, because it's going to be 10 left over. And you can't simplify square root of 10. All right, so that's 3 square root of 10. All right, that's a 10. All right, so this is 3 square root of 10 times 12. So it's negative 36. Square root of 10 plus, all right, square root of 15 does not simplify. No perfect squares go into it. All right, and you can't combine the square root of 10 and the square root of 15. They're not like terms. So I guess we're done. All right, we're gonna stop this. We're gonna stop this video here now, ladies.